out of hand. Yes, brother, let's catch up, man. I think it's been about 4 years.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think it's been 4 years. Yeah, I think it's been 4 years, like something like that.
Yeah. So you're doing good? Doing good, man?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there.
Well,
Despite
it's
the
a it's a it's a it's a long road. It's like a long friggin' journey. This whole you know, being your best self game.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's got its ups and downs and trials
Mhm.
and tribulations and setbacks and pandemics involved. Yep. Yeah. But you seem
Yeah.
you seem pretty dialed in. When we kind of texted each other, it seems like you're pretty on point these days, doing pretty solid in that sense.
Well, I mean, it's work. I mean, I'm always working. It's my job. It's my career is health and wellness.
Right.
That's my business. So that's my daily thing is health and wellness.
Yeah.
So that doesn't deviate for me. It's like that's my living.
Right. Right. But there
You
are,
know,
are
it's that.
I'm gonna say, but there are extremes you can go to, and we could probably talk about too. Like you can go down certain roads, and because I remember last time we talked, you were really interested in the breatharianism and all that stuff. So
Oh,
there's
you know what?
there's levels.
I've integrated all of that. You know, all that I learned from those experiences. Like what I've pulled from a life of experience now, and I've integrated all of that into like a total life changing type of program. You know, I really think that it boils down to the mindset more than anything else.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's finding that balance. That's what it's my been my challenge lately is just not swinging too far in one direction because
This is it.
you can be very healthy and do all the healthy things, but if you're too extreme with it or militant, that can throw you out of balance. So I kind of went down that road, and I think we talked about this last time, and then bringing it back a little bit, so you're kind of in homeostasis right in the middle, so you're not too extreme on one side or the other. So that's what's the challenge
Well,
for me.
this is what it is really is it's like in order to rise in frequency or vibration, you have to polarize yourself to one side, so you have to lean over to one side. So this is kind of
Yeah.
rudimentary. This is where we start all things. This first thing we do is we're like, that's bad and that's good, and we kind of go to one side or the other. And then so when we start into the raw food and the health and the detoxification and the
Right.
fasting, and it's like this is the right way and that's the wrong way, this is good and that's bad. It's like we get like this. It's very
Division. Yeah.
polarized, it's
Yep.
very masculine, it's very right and wrong, right?
Right.
But that's very rudimentary, and that's where we start all things, is kind of with that sort of early learning. And then as we go into that for some time, we have a relationship with that food or that substance or that behavior or that practice of detoxification or natural health, or engaging with that. And for some period of time, we start to recognize that over, like, it's like when you're getting married, like, the first 3 months, the 6 months, the honeymoon,
The
and then
honeymoon. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is like it's going on for a longer than that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's like a maturity that happens. Like, I have to see that in order even to stay in a marriage for a long period of time, in any type of relationship, there has to be some autonomy, like there has to be some separation from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get caught in it, you get into it, and you polarize to it, and this is the way, and you think this is the way, and this is right, and that becomes wrong. And then but then once you realize you're kind of create a dual side to your life, like I'm the good guy and they're the bad guys, and then it starts to make a good guy and bad guy in your life. And that's not an easy, comfortable way to live your life either.
Right. Right.
you know
Yeah.
but
Because you.
but we go there to do some deep healing there and learn some things. But then once we've learned some things about balance and recognize that if you're talking about forever and ever, that's what we're talking about, is balance. So
Yeah.
then you have to kind of create a lifestyle that you can sustain. So it
Right.
can't be just like all about that. It has to kind of waver back and forth where I spend some time working on my discipline and I allow some time for the feminine or the feeling or like, the wiggle room in my life, family and relationship and rest and something other than maybe what I'm thinking, saying, and doing all of the other times. There has to be a little bit of a play in your life, and it has to happen every single week
Right. Right.
so that you don't get out of balance. Else, you'll lean on one side too far and then you tip over like a seesaw, right?
Yeah. 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 I think we talked about this last time. You just brought it up about, having family and friends and connections. We touched on this last time too about, me and you be like, oh, I'm gonna, just eat fruit for a week. And then my wife's, the primary meal maker in the house. And she's like, what are we doing this week? Are you just eating fruit? Are you vegan? What's happening? Making separate meals for you, for the kid. It's like, and that can cause a lot of confrontation and stress. And so, yeah, you gotta give and take. And then it's okay.
Waking up in your life with a relationship, with a family, like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is the thing. Like, that's a whole story right there.
Right. Yeah.
Because relationships that we have, like from the movies and from TV and from life, like this image of relationship and what love is, and this image of what it's been painted for to us, and what life's going to look like in the future, and it doesn't look like that.
Right. Right.
And then you're dealing with the real life.
Yeah. Real life sets in. Yeah. Yeah.
Real life's not quite like that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And so it's hard enough to navigate awakening or healing yourself or changing yourself or making yourself better or trying to improve your life. You're trying to do that for yourself, but then you're getting knocked over by your friend, by your family, by your
Yeah.
child,
Yeah.
by your parent, by your brother, people that have like enormous like emotional energy in your life, and that is such a rift in
Yeah.
your energy field. Like these key fundamental relationships, primary relationship, children, parent, these are family powers. These are like some of the most enormous like energy changes and shifts in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people too, I mean, that's important, but I think the transition is what screws up a lot of people too. Like for any lifestyle change, if you just want to exercise or change your diet, people tend to not do the transition well and they go full bore, either hurt themselves or get disenchanted. But I think a lot of people especially in like the raw foods or detox community, they see like these gurus like Dan McDonald or Dr. Morse or Elatom, and they got to go 100% and do exactly what they're doing without even thinking that they've been on their journey for many years and they're probably not going in the same direction you are. But people want to emulate that because they think that's what they need to be. And they usually fail at it. That's what I did. I got so discouraged and distracted trying to do like a 40-day water fast like Dan McDonald, the life regenerator. And I can't do that. How about you just start with doing some juices every day or something? You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to be careful who you're following and try and emulate, because you can get sucked into that and then you're going to get
It
discouraged because you
has to
can't do
be
it.
a down to earth lifestyle program. This is what I'm urging for,
Everybody's
brother.
different. Everybody starts
This
at
is
different
what
levels.
I'm
Yeah.
urging for. It's like you can't get into the extremes. Like, I mean, you do have to go extreme if you need to heal something
Right. If you're
desperately in your
sick. Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've
Exactly.
got cancer, if you've got some critical illness, if there's something really critical, then yeah, you're gonna go. But then you have the motivation also too, because you're life
Right.
or death sort of situation. But I mean, really, if you're just trying to really make your life better, like you've gonna have to do it like every single day. Like it needs to be something sustainable.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It has to be something that fits into your life, and it has to be something that you absolutely love. Because if you don't love it, you'll never stick with it.
Yep. Yep. It's
That's
true.
that's all there is to it. Like if you hate it and you're forcing yourself to do that, and you don't see why, and you can't see the payout out of it, if you don't see progress in it, like you have to be like doing something and you're like, you know what? I can tell I'm getting better. This is making me feel better. Like I'm sleeping better, my energy's better, I'm more clear, I'm losing weight, I'm getting more energized, I'm feeling better. You're inspired. Like there's an internal shift in your energy that you feel better when you start to conduct yourself in the right way.
Right. Right.
Right mind creates right outcome every single time in a cause and effect universe,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, you know, an action creates an equal and opposite reaction. We're just talking about natural law. We're just aligning ourselves with the laws of nature, right?
Right.
All things in nature breathe. All things in nature, uh, you know, everything alive breathes. So, you know, we've got to make sure that our program is oxygenating us. We've got to make sure that, you know, we're moving in our program daily. And we've got to make sure that we're eating oxygen rich foods
Yep.
daily. That's got to become like my routine, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you can't relax. And this is what I say, like, this is the problem that everyone does is they go, oh, I'm going all raw food, you know? I'm a fruitarian and I'm just 100. And I did it too. So I'm only because I did it
Yeah.
that I recognize that, you know, you can do that for 3 months or 3 years or 4 years. But even if you do accomplish that, you're going to be so like isolated in this world. Like there's going to be no one that's going to understand you.
Right. Right.
You're vibrating at a level like this and like, yeah, I feel like this, and nobody knows what you're talking about. Like everyone thinks you're a madman. Like, and you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna hang out with your wife. Your wife's like trying to poke you in the eye to get her off. The kids don't want nothing to do with you. Nobody wants to be around you. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
In a life like this, like we have to have something that's more like livable. Like, you know, my wife is not going to do that, or my child is not going to be doing that, or the people that I'm working with are not going to be doing that. So, you know, like if you want to integrate with the rest of your life, you've got to have something that kind of keeps you sort of a little bit or allows you a little bit to engage with your life a little bit.
Right. Right. Yeah. You
You've
got
got to have some flexibility. You've got to honor the divine feminine or the feeling,
Mhm.
what you desire, like what you're used to, what's comfortable, what makes you feel your best.
Yeah.
Like you've got to have some time where you're working on your discipline. Like that's got to be a part. If I want to get better, I'm going to have to get my fitness in. If I want to be better, I'm going to have to get my healthy food. If I want to be better, I'm going to have to get my healthy thoughts and words in, my imagery, my visualization, my breath work, my meditation. I'm going to have to do these things. But if, and that's my self discipline, that's my masculine mind, that's my conscious decision, that's my daily work. But if I only do work, then all work and no play is a dull boy. So, you know, you have to have the feminine, which is the feeler or the heart center, or, you know, coming back into body and sensation.
Mhm.
This is like, well, how do you feel today? Because sometimes you wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't really feel like it today.
Right.
Even
Right.
though you're supposed to do this today, you just don't feel like it today because that's the feminine.
Got to be intuitive. Yep. Intuitive.
That's it. That's listening to your inner knowledge or your inner guide or your inner wisdom, right? Intuitively, your heart. It's coming out of mind, like, this is what I got to do, the masculine, the thinker. This is the right way. And it's coming into like, no, like the body knows the way, like the body knows how to heal itself. Like all things in nature heal themselves with balance. Like if you remove the denature, the unnatural aspect, then the body and life return back to balance. That's the law of nature.
Yeah. Well, I think it's attachment too. I mean, that's a big part of Buddhism, understanding impermanence and letting go of attachment. People get hung up on attachment and I need this and I want and desires, and that's fine.
Expectation.
That's fine. I mean, it's great to have those things that can create motivation and inspiration, but at the end of the day, that attachment can lead to your suffering. So yeah, finding that
Because I
balance.
don't have it yet, because I'm not there yet. Like, so, I have this goal and I wanted to lose 10 pounds by the end of the month, or if I didn't lose enough weight this week and then I didn't get it. So then I feel like I failed. And then it's like, it's no use. I can't do it. And then you start into like this negative thought process. So like having an expectation, having a goal, like it's good. Like this is the better goal, rather than putting your goal on a physical measurement. Like
Or a
say,
finish
you
line,
want,
yeah.
yeah, you can't put it on the finish line. You got to
There
put
isn't
it
one.
on.
There isn't one.
This is it. It's got to be a lifestyle, because
Right.
there isn't a finish line.
No,
So,
you never get
so
there.
then I have to like just connect again to the divine feminine, to the feeling. Like it has to be anchored in feeling. Like, does it make you feel better? Like, do you love yourself more and your life more? Are you more energetic? Are you more enthusiastic? Are you more optimistic? Are you more playful? Are you seeing improvements in your life? Like, if you're not seeing like improvement in your whole life, like you're not going to keep on doing it.
Right.
It has to be. So you got to stop measuring from the weight on the scale. Like if you keep on measuring from your bank account and then go, like if you want to make more money, do you go check what's in the bank account every day?
Right. Right.
No, you don't go check your bank account every day because you want to make more money, but you're going to check your scale every day if you want to lose weight. Like this is it. If you want to change your life, you got to come away from the physical measurements, because changing your life starts in the realm of spirit or in the realm of mind. It
Right.
doesn't come from the outside, but you're measuring it outside with the physical. You see, with the physical, this is an external measurement. You have to take an internal measurement, like a feeling, a barometer from within yourself. Like, no, this feels right for me. This feels good for me. Even if that guy over there, the expert, said this, and that person over there, the expert's doing this, and my brother at the water fountain saying this, and my mother and my sister and my wife don't want to do that. Well, that doesn't matter. Like, this is what's right for me. That's using your own decision maker. That comes from having a little bit of like experiential knowledge, a little bit of experimental science, where you try this and you try that and you make a decision from it. And
Yeah.
then you know for yourself, inside of yourself, intuitively, your inner wisdom, your inner knowledge knows, no, this is what's right for me. That may be right for you, but it's not right for me.
Right. Well, you know this. Your external experience is a direct reflection of your internal environment. So
Right.
if you have negative thoughts, negative energy, that's going to manifest in the external world. So
Right.
once you comprehend that and understand that, it starts in the mind, just like any invention. This phone started off as someone's idea in their head, and now it's a physical thing in the real world. So everything starts in the brain as an idea, a thought, neurons transmitting, and then it manifests itself physically, or however, into the external world.
Right.
And that's how you can change yourself that way too.
By addressing yourself internally rather than externally. So this is it. So if you keep on going from the expectations, how much money I got in the bank, how much I weigh on the scale, how much sex my wife is giving me, how much attention my child is giving me, how nice my car is, how nice my house is, how many vacations I have a year. Like if you're measuring yourself this way, well, then you're always going to end up like failing. And if you start to begin to take an internal measure, like, no, I am feeling well and I'm taking care of my health from within myself, this is an internal decision that's been made. And now you're starting to heal yourself by contributing to yourself energetically, mentally, physically, emotionally, every single day. So if you add days, you stack positive days together, what do you think is the outcome of stacking together
Right.
positive, successful days?
Yep.
You know what the outcome is when you stack positive, successful days together, brother?
Yeah. You find what you're looking for, man. Hey, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you still retaining your semen?
Yeah, this is the thing. Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
It's nothing is forever. It's just like breatharianism. Like breatharianism is fasting. It's
Right.
taking away from food. It's unfooding. And it is the way to connect to your soul, because when you take away the food, there's no nourishment but the inner nourishment. So you're finding your internal nourishment. But you don't live there forever. You
Right. Yeah.
go there and then you come out of there. You go there and you come out of there. That's how the cycle goes. Like that is the cycle of health. The cycle of health is to let go the physical world and come into the emotional energy body, to anchor yourself in the soul body,
Yeah.
to anchor yourself in the authentic life. So yes, it is to retain some time and then to come out again. And then to, yes, retain some time and then to come out again. So yes, I am doing that. Yes, all the time, brother. That's how it goes. It goes in
Yay.
and it goes out. That's how it goes, brother. It's nothing for all the time. Like this is how it goes. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. It doesn't go only in. It's the whole, is the night and the day. It's not just the day is good
Right.
and the night is bad. It's
Well,
hot and cold. It's both. It's not one or the other. So stop looking for right and wrong and, oh, I'm better and you're worse. It's not this,
yeah.
right? It can't be this, right? It's about collaboration. It's not about competition. So see, human has learned competition, and so this is what they know.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not about competition.
Right.
It's about collaboration. And when someone learns that it is about collaboration, and when you can have two people collaborating and they can see that when two people come together, there is more power there.
Right.
And if someone can see that two people coming together has more power, then they can win together if they can both see this.
Yeah.
If one thinks they are right and the other is wrong, well, then that's not going to win this way.
Yeah. I
It's
like the
not a battle, right? It cannot be a battle. It has to be like a sharing, like just a sharing, a difference of differences of sharing. It has to be differences of opinion, just sharing from a different perspective.
yeah. I like the way you put it, like, in and out, and another way to put it is expansion and contraction. And that's the way the universe works too. And the body works that way too. Cells work that way, expansion and contraction. So I've talked many times with a lot of detox people about this. People stay too long in the detox mode, and the body will start breaking itself down, and then you can get sick from that. So there's a time to squeeze the sponge. I like calling it a sponge. Squeeze the sponge, hit it hard, then come back out, replenish your body with nutrients and minerals and vitamins and all that stuff. And then you go back and squeeze it and hit it hard again. So expansion and contraction. And that goes with relationships, anything. I mean, that's the way the universe works. It expands and it contracts.
Yes, brother. This is how it goes. It's to see and to accept that that's how it is.
That's
And
the law.
so
Yeah.
now just getting into harmony with that's how it is. So now I just build it into my 7-day cycle. So I have a 7-day process. That's what I teach.
Mhm.
I teach people how to get back on track with my 7-day process. So if someone says, I'm having trouble, I can't get this, I can't do that, I say to them, listen, join in, do my 7-day process. I'd love to get a testimonial from you. I'd love for you to go through my process and then give me a little bit of feedback on what you saw, what you learned from the experience. Let's do this together. Like then we're collaborating on something. I'm going to share what I've learned. You're going to benefit the person that's going to benefit, and I'm growing and I'm growing and you're growing. We're sharing what we're both good at. We're bringing both what we've learned to the table.
Your knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing each other's focus at the same time. When two or more come together, there I be. There is more power when you come together like this. When you come together with a collective idea, like, hey, let's get together to work on this goal together. Let's make this podcast. Let's make this, weekly thing or bi-weekly thing or this monthly thing on YouTube or on Facebook or on, let's just connect each week in this way to talk about these things, because these are things that need for people to know about, and we need to have a way for us to have that information being shared.
Right.
That needs to be that dialogue needs to be had, right? So if there's ways that can get out in a way so this is why I created the 7-day process. It allows me to engage with people, talk with people about how they can heal themselves, show them how to get back into the driver's seat for themselves, and then hopefully build a relationship with that person so that we can collaborate and do something more valuable again together going from there.
Yeah, I think we need that communication now more than ever. I mean, I don't know how you dealt with the pandemic, and because it's different for you guys in Canada, but I know you guys got it pretty bad up there too. But when that hit March 2020, it was tough for me, man. I feel like I'm an empathic person, and when I saw what was happening, I instantly knew there was an agenda behind this. This wasn't about our health, none of that, and that freaked me out, man. I'm not gonna lie, that was tough to see the world follow orders so quickly and not question anything. And that was
Scary.
tough. There was no communication. So
Yeah.
opening these lines of dialogue, having these topics, discussing these things,
Yeah.
so important today. So important.
Yes, this is exactly what has to happen, because we need to have conscious conversation. We need to have conscious conversation, and we need to reestablish conscious conversation and authentic conversation. This needs to be had. We need autonomy. We need sovereignty. We need to learn how to step into our own power again, because we've been powerless for a number of years. So we need to come back into our power, and we need to have words that push us and speak us back into our power. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if remember the last time we talked, I had the Chris Hall podcast. I haven't put anything on there in like 2 years. I started another one called the Holistic Prepper podcast. I started getting into prepping, survivalism, and kind of mixing a holistic lifestyle and that together, because I realized that, like, just self-preservation, taking care of yourself, I didn't know any of that stuff. Like health-wise I did, but at the end of the day, I'm totally relying on the government to come in and save me if there's a natural disaster or this takes place or that. I need to grow my own food, my own self-responsibility, self-sovereignty, and people don't do that either. They rely on outside sources, protect them, take care of them. And it's like you said, taking your power back, learn how to sustain yourself, or just for natural disasters or anything. People don't do that. They're just out of sight, out of mind. And then you think someone's going to come save you. Good luck with that. So I went out and I got myself right when the pandemic hit, I got me, hate to say it, I got me a shotgun, I got me a generator. I started stockpiling food because I didn't know where this was going to go. You know what I mean? Every week, like something horrible was happening, like, with the George Floyd thing and the riots and the protesting, like.
So this is what happened, brother. All of this that happened was, a big trigger, an emotional trigger to create fear. It was fear mongering, like,
Oh yeah,
and every
propaganda.
single one of us got afraid at some level, like scared at some level, whether it's for your safety, your security, in some way, your health, your wealth, in every single way, your relationships, like every single thing was like strained, and we were like in fear. So when the human is in fear, it's in destroyer, and it's in like it's shrinking. It's like the human spirit and soul is like constricting. It's constricting to the human soul and spirit. And the human gets defensive, protective, get a gun, get a stockpile your stuff. This is how we get this is a reaction to what's happening around me. I've been triggered. I've been triggered by what's around me, and we all have. And we've all got to see that we have been triggered by what's around us, and that we just need to anchor ourselves again in nature, and we will balance and come out of that triggered thought place that we are in. Now we just need to have some authentic thought that pulls us out of the thinking mind that we're in, that anchors us in the heart and the knowledge that, oh, wait a second, I'm the creator of my reality. That regardless of what's happening around me, no, I create my reality. And if I'm in a fear-based place where I'm worried about everything and I'm protecting myself, well, then I'm creating that space. And as I start to ease off on that and let go of that can ease off and let go externally in my world, that starts with a change in my mind inside of myself, where I start to really just soften, like, okay, that's what I've been holding on to. That's what I've been clinging to. Those are my thoughts. But, whatever I've been thinking is creating what I've got. And if I want to get something else, I'm going to have to let go a little bit of what I know for a second. It's like to come out of what I know and to fall into someplace safe where I can feel like I'm with someone that can really handle, what comes up. Like, it's okay. Like, you can be safe, that if I let go of what I know, that, that uncertainty of what's there is spirit, is soul, is higher self, is energetic body, is higher frequency, is more, is your creative space or your imagination. Like you said, this phone can't come into, the physical reality unless it's first in the mental reality. Like that light bulb, I always say, he couldn't get the candle inside the glass. Like, he had to imagine how to get the candle inside the glass. Like, you've got to, like, even if you're a scientist, you still have to use your creative mind, your imagination, to say, well, how could I do it? So it's like, you've got to, like, use your imagination. You've got to enter the feminine to get a hopeful vision, rather than I'm a worried, protected vision. It's like conjuring a vision in your mind, like, I am safe, I am well, I am whole. Like, the human has been here since the beginning of time. Like, the human is not going anywhere. And anyone that's telling you these scary stories is really telling you a scary story. You have to come out of the scary story and come back into authentic truth. Like, we've just been scattered by some of the messaging that we've been told over the last 100 years. The educational system, the marketing, the media, the day-to-day social norms and dialogue of society has all got the mental space, the food, the substance, the addictions to food and substance, all of this unnaturalness, the work schedule, the time, the clock, everything has been shifted on the human, out of nature, out of balance. This is not how the human is to be. And all of this will tip the human over. Once the human tips over into fear space, the human can never become its ultimate expression when it's in its protection, fear space.
Yeah.
Like, it has to come into, like, optimistic space. This is like, you see, the soul is trapped in this physical experience. And the only freedom for this soul is the mind of the human. Like, if that human is in this protection space, the soul is an infinite thing. It's not afraid of death, and it doesn't need to eat. And so it's not It's the mind that has gotten sick with the program. The soul is withered by the withering mind. If the mind would take an imagination that was freeing the soul, that would allow the soul to have an experience within the human body, that the soul could experience unlimited potential within the imagination of the human. If the human was conjuring like a hopeful vision in their mind, this would be happy, lifting for the soul. It's the
Makes sense.
imagination. It's we got to get into that creative imagery, that hopeful vision, like I am getting healthy, I am getting well, I am fixing, changing my life. That's an affirmative dialogue or an affirmative vision. That's getting like a hopeful, inspired vision on a daily basis. Like that's a critical aspect of health.
Yeah. Well,
To
I
come
mean,
out of the disease fearful thought, yes, on a daily basis.
yeah, not being reactive to what they're telling you in the social media, the mainstream media and all that stuff. We get reactive
What
to it
even your
because,
neighbor, your child, or your parent might be telling you, like what you're just coming out of what's around you and coming into what's within you, not
yeah,
reacting to what's around you. You're just letting go of that reaction, taking some time to sit in a non-reactive conversation, an authentic conversation where you're focusing on your breath, where
yeah,
you're moving, you're breathing. This is how you shift your perspective. Movement, breath. We have to come out of the sitting. We have to get moving. We have to pick up the frequency, the vibration. We have to pick up the oxygen in the body, oxygenate, invigorate, change the hormones, cortisol. We got to change the endorphins. We've got to get the physiology, the human physiology lifted with some movement. We've got to inspire daily, lift up daily with movement, lift up daily with nutrition, lift up daily mentally with thought and word. It's got to be, kind of all of it together in a lifestyle. If you can create a lifestyle that includes all of these things, if you can pull it all into a lifestyle, then you've got something. And if you fall in love with that lifestyle, like that you want to live that way, then this can propel you. This is a lifestyle that is a healing lifestyle.
yeah. But I think you have to be careful if you're going to play in the sandbox that we call society. Like you said in the beginning, there's cause and effect. There's going to be consequences to what you do. And so I don't know if humans are going to do well if they stay in big cities and all the pollution and all the marketing and all that stuff. So I'm just looking to try and get more into like a homesteading, kind of a little further away out of the city and kind of a little more self-reliant, you know what I mean? Because humans are a virus or taking over the whole planet, and eventually there's going to be nowhere there's going to be open land. So I think now is the time to start moving a little bit further out because it'll be there eventually in probably 10, 20 years. So I'm just trying to get more self-sustained and trying to move my family a little
I
further
like
out
that
of the,
idea a
yeah,
lot, brother. I like that, going more rural. I love that idea of going down to the
get
Caribbean
more
or
with
going to
nature because you
Mexico.
can't
I
get nature
love
in the
getting
city. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I think time in nature, time spent in nature, time being with nature, time being with authentic things, getting out of the city, getting out of the mess, the rat race around you, reducing the external, and really focusing more on the internal. Like this is where the health is. The health is within us, not around us.
Yeah.
As disease is around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, I was going to ask you, did you ever do a retreat with the Elatom? I remember last
Yeah,
time you
I
were talking.
have.
Oh, you did do? Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, I have done a retreat with Elatom. We did a 7-day retreat here at my place, here at the studio.
Oh, wow. Nice.
We did that. I guess maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it was an awesome experience. I really liked the breatharian message, and I learned a lot from it. And I have incorporated that into my 4-day detoxification lifestyle, which is, like I say, there's 7 days in a week. I say you just need to make sure that each week you spend some time working on that. I say 4 days of the week, and then you give yourself 3 days where you kind of relax and you go a little flexible again, and then So, Monday to Thursday, we're following the detoxification nutrition plan, kind of aiming for more raw foods and juices, hydration, nutrition, coming out of the dehydration nutrition, moving to more living foods for 4 days. And then on the weekend, relaxing, having a little bit of flexible eating, a little bit of relaxation, and then returning back and kind of moving through that cycle where you're making a commitment to kind of 4 days of movement, 4 days of working on your thoughts and your words, and 4 days of working on your nutrition. And you put that together into a lifestyle. This is my 7 day kickstart
That's the expansion and contraction. Yep.
that honors both into each week. And then if you kind of get into a lifestyle that does both, then now you can kind of grow each week, and then you can kind of stack success on top of success on top of success. You can evaluate what's happening, you can tweak it, and you can make it better the next week. So this is how you make yourself better, is you create a system, and then you can evaluate your system. You can give it an A or a B, or you can say, I want to do this or that more, I want to change it a bit more, and you grow it, and you grow your own personal health system. So what I do is I teach people my 7-day plan, and then I help them integrate it into their own lifestyle, right? That's my 7-day kickstart, brother.
I love it. Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
It sounds doable. Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
Yeah, man. It's like a reintroduction again. Let's get you going again. So, like let's say we were going to do a 7-day kickstart with you. Let's just say if we were going to get you started again back into health and wellness, the first thing I would want to do is let's just meet for like a little physical assessment. I want to teach you 21 foundational movements. Take a look at these 21 movements. And this is what I'm suggesting. You do these 21 kind of movements on a daily basis. You focus on your breathing, you focus on your mindset, and you do these 21 movements. You combine it with this nutrition plan. You combine it with these mindset videos that I'd like you to kind of listen to, and see what that feels like over 7 days. And then give me a testimonial. Give me like some feedback, because I want to get that feedback to share it with my community. Would you be willing to do something like that with me, brother?
Oh, of course, of course.
I love that, man. I love that. And that's the way that we get together. And listen, we're growing together, we're talking together, we're working on something together. Like, I want to get better, I want to help you get better. So, you're working on a goal, you want to get better. So we're both brothers coming together. This is about loving yourself and loving the other. Right? As you learn to love yourself better, you will be better at loving the other. Right? This is what the life is about. So if you start to align yourself with your life, like you start to align yourself with the laws of life, like life is a loving experience. If you start to align yourself with love, like more love for myself and more love for those that are around me, if you start to hold this intention on a daily basis, like this becomes your predominant thought. Like, I'm aligning myself with the right thoughts, with the right words, with the right actions, physically, mentally, emotionally, on a daily basis. This is how I become better. Does it make sense, brother?
Oh, of course, of course. Ancient knowledge, man.
Ancient knowledge.
Ancient knowledge, but it's been buried. They don't want us to know this.
That's right. They don't want us to know that we have the power to do it for ourselves.
Yeah. You're about to turn 50 pretty soon.
Yeah, man. I'm just about to turn 50, bro.
I just turned 50 last year, man. They're coming for us. They're coming for us. Yep.
Cool, man. Cool. This is it. I really think that there's something that happens at this point in your life. Like, I feel like it's like every 7 years is like a life cycle.
Something, yeah.
It goes 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. Like, once you break 49, once you break 50, this is 7 times 7, or full maturity of the human. There's 7 chakras. There's 7 energy centers. The first 28 years of life, the heart chakra is opening. The second half of life, you're talking about the throat, the eye opening up through the top. This is full awareness becomes full of your life. It's like you coming to the back half of life. I talk about the front half of life being very masculine and the back half of life being very feminine, because you see, in the front half of life, we thrust out into the life trying to like carve out our life. And then in the back half of life, like I tell you, life is constant, steadfast. It doesn't change, unchanging. Like the back half of life is no different than the front half of life, except the mind has been changed. It's just you're thinking differently about the back half of your life. It really hasn't changed. You just start to love your life more by changing the way you are acting towards your life. It's like you're falling in love with your lifestyle, like accepting it. It's partly accepting things as they are rather than like trying to get something else to be happy. It's like loving what you have.
Right.
This
Well,
is what you've been given, right? This is the life you've been given.
right. Well, I think you know that your life cycle is coming a little closer to an end. So you're going to start perceiving and viewing the world in a different light, because
that's right.
That's what happens. People get a certain age and they go like, man, this is getting close. I better start getting my button gear. Yeah.
Brother, I think that there's a marketplace to speak to people that are 50 and up, people that have come to the middle age of their life. I say people between 40 and 60. Somewhere in there, this light comes on. It's like, you know what? Like, I'm not sure what's going on in the world, but I know for sure that I believe in myself. And I believe there's goodness within me, you know, and I trust in myself. And so I believe that there's, you know, higher self or soul or spirit within. And I believe if I contribute to that self, that will grow. This is just self-belief. This is self-worth. This is self-value. This is knowing who and what you are. And that comes from a practice, from a habit, from a behavior, from a little bit of study, from a little bit of research, from meditation, from dialing yourself in on a daily basis.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, my brother.
So how long did you want to go for?
I think we've done a good job. I think we've shared the message. I think the message has been shared. I think we're just going to have to just connect on Messenger and book a time to do our physical assessment and go to next level.
Yeah, I think you dropped some good nuggets there, man. I like it.
Thank you, my brother. There's more to come for us, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But hey, before we get out of here though, I got to ask you, because I know you're a fan. Are you watching Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I will definitely be watching it.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. Is it out?
Yeah, it came out last Friday. There's already 3 episodes in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you're talking about something on TV?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus? I don't have this.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Yeah, Mandalorian.
I don't have Disney Plus. I'm Canadian, brother.
Oh, no. So I know you're a Star Wars fan, right? Your son's name's Anakin.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you got to watch it.
My dog's Yoda.
Grogu, little baby Yoda. I figured you'd be watching it. Oh yeah.
I will be watching it. I'm going to work it out over here.
Yeah, I know a lot of people poo-poo on Disney for being a conglomerate corporation, all that stuff, but I love Star Wars, and any way I get some content, I'll take it, man. Hey, you gotta check it out.
I love Star Wars too. My son and I are talking about the new Star Wars movie. I think it's just about to break.
Oh, they're doing another one?
Talking about. It's just about to come out. But it's in a little bit different direction. I think it's Han Solo, I think. Han Solo.
Another one?
No, maybe it's not Han Solo. It's
oh, you're out of the loop, brother. You don't even know what's going
Fett.
on.
Maybe it's Boba Fett, buddy.
They already did Boba Fett. That came out last year.
Boba Fett was last year?
Yeah. Or no, maybe
there's another one. There's
maybe
another Star Wars just about to break in the movie theater. That's what I thought you were talking about. My son is talking about it, so we will be there for that.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're doing a lot of streaming TV shows now, so I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. I'll take it.
I've gone to the Android box. I've left all the television stuff. That's why I don't have all that stuff.
No Netflix. You're not doing Netflix either.
There's Netflix on the phones, and we cast it to the television.
There you go. Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. Cool.
Okay, my brother. Thank you. Let's chat some more on Messenger. I love it.
All right. Sounds good, man. It's good to connect
Thanks,
and
bro.
good to see you.
See you later.
All right. Take care.
Bye.